Craig, so you were asking about AEW.
Oh yes,
And,
let's go. Let's see.
Yeah, he said
What'd you say?
AEW is going out under UC talent coming back to WWE. Well, you can already look at Cody Rhodes as an example as the first guy.
Please, Malcolm, explain. Malcolm has had a phenomenal theory about what is going to happen, and go ahead and explain.
What happened with WCW was they were buying up talent from WWE, like you see with AEW. TNA kind of did the same thing. And what ended up happening is that WWE was able to maintain their business because they're profitable. WCW might have been at the time, but I'm not sure.
No, it wasn't.
But they spent so much money that I can't see them being profitable. Well, WWE.
Remember, folks, just because you have a billionaire backing you doesn't mean you're profitable.
Yeah.
Remember this.
So back in the day, what WCW fell inevitably, it was going to. They let the inmates run the asylum, and all that talent just got sucked right in WWE, and anyone they took personal, they kicked them to the curb. I believe AEW's in the same position. I also believe WWE is letting their talent make their choices and going because it's flooding.
Unless they want to keep him like Mustafa Ali, there's people they want to keep.
And I believe they're flooding all their talent to AEW. Yep. They know people are just going to go in there.
Yep.
When AEW falls, guess what? They've developed talent like Kenny Omega. Well, he is already previous, but a lot of their talent, Danhausen, Orange Cassidy, all Hangman,
Britt Baker, Jade.
Yeah, there's plenty of talent there that if they can't afford to pay them, they go under. It's just going to get sucked right into WWE.
Yeah, listen, folks.
WWE is not. They're not developing people.
Properly. Properly. Listen, folks, they're developing some people.
Dave!
Listen. Hey, Dave, good to see you. Listen, folks, AEW is going to fail, and that it's just about when. It's not about if. And, like, this is something that people need.
They let the inmates run the asylum.
Because, that is one factor. But, again, like Dusty Rhodes said, where's the money at, baby? They're not making money. And you could say and lie to yourself, like people did with WCW, that they have Tony Khan in his infinite paycheck. Now we are currently seeing that now they're not willing to pay Cody what he wants. That now they're starting to care about profit. The problem is that they've done it too late. They should have done that from the start. Yeah. Because when you don't do it from the start, what you do is you create an ecosystem on where people feel entitled, like Cody. Cody should have been paid more than anybody. Why? Because he was a founder. Now, the fact that people are getting more money than Cody coming in after shows you that...
I didn't know about that.
Yes. After shows you that inmates are running the asylum. So we have a huge problem here. And that's what's going to create division within the company. Now, Cody still supports AEW, the talent, because Cody, I've met him, Malcolm's right. Yeah. He's a sweet person.
Respectable, hardworking.
He loves the people there. But again, where's the money at, baby? It's about money. Excuse my language, I don't give a fuck what anybody else tells you. This is about fucking money, folks. Anybody tells you different is lying to you, because they want to look good in front of the camera. I'm not going to lie to you, folks. This is about money. Okay? And at some point, AEW is going to have to make those hard decisions. The problem is the hard decisions are being made too late, and they're being made on a basis of who's got more talent in the future versus who's adding value now. Cody was adding value now. I'm sorry. The future of some of these other stars, I can't bank on it.
Yeah.
I can bank that.
You make a good point about places like Impact, wrestlers going to different places.
Yep.
There are wrestlers that are just hard workers and they love the spotlight, and that'll never change. Good Brothers, the Bullet Club, a lot of those guys. Kenny Omega, he found a home.
Yep.
But he was bouncing around to a lot of these places.
Yep.
The Hardy Boys are always going to bounce around because they just love the spotlight. This is what they do. John Cena is always going to be WWE. There's nothing going to change that.
Yeah, well, exactly. And,
I hope going to AEW, they're going to AEW because the money's there and it's popular.
Yeah, it's not about,
It's popular.
Listen, folks, anybody tells you otherwise that they're going to AEW to be a part of something big, listen, there might be a few people that are being legitimate, but it's about the money. Dusty, where the money at, baby?
Jericho, regardless of the success of AEW, would be anywhere.
Yeah, but guess what? He went to AEW because of the money.
But he's also got his band. If he wanted to go back to Japan, they probably let him.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Lucha, all that stuff. Jericho's always going to be a hard worker.
What I wish about WWE is what Malcolm's always stated, and we did a video on it, folks. You can watch it. Is that WWE did what they did back in the day with New Japan and other promotions. They had a little bit cohesionness. They lost that after the 80s. During the 90s came, the late 90s came, and it was like all that inner working with New Japan and NWA and all these other companies, it went away. Now we're hoping with Mickey James and that kind of stuff, we're hoping that opens doors to that type of stuff, because that's going to be the future for WWE, is having the best of AEW and the best of WWE. They need it because AEW's got going for it is that they have the wrestlers' freedom. Freedom, in my opinion, and I stand by it, freedom creates money. It creates cash. Having freedom is important.
I could say a lot about Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder he's out there wrestling in multiple promotions, and he did, even when he went straight to AEW, he's like, I don't care. I want to do these hardcore matches, which I give him a lot of credit for, because I would never. And
we're not fans of Zack. And but I'll tell you this, Matt or Cardona, we're not fans of him. But I'll never say that the guy is not talented and he works hard. He works very hard.
Yeah. And when you look at all these other guys, there's so much talent going to AEW because it's popular and the money.
Yeah.
Eventually they run out. Eventually the storylines get to the finger poke of doom, which I explained to my father. I said that it was so crazy that back then they were given all these bad ideas.
Yeah.
And he's
it's when my grandpa.
Like, I know how we can change the title. I'll go out there and you just hand it to me. It'll be fun. Yeah. People will laugh. And it's a world heavyweight title at the end of the day. They ruined a good segment.
I remember my grandpa back in the day was disgusted at it. I mean, people notice this and they don't like it. The finger poke of doom and stuff like that. But also the disregard to valid storylines. Things like with the Alexa Bliss that I went on about for a while in one of our streams. I stand by it. Yeah, when you're going to fire Bray Wyatt or let him go or whatever happened, you need to have a clear, concise storyline for Alexa Bliss. You can't leave someone out hanging to dry. And they're doing that too much. They're leaving the wrestlers like Elias, how we talked about, with nothing to do, no cohesion, no storyline. And what's worse is that when they bring a storyline to Vince, they bring it to creative and shot down. WWE needs to stop this, because if they continue on the path they're going to continue on, you're going to have a more robust independent scene. AEW, again, folks, AEW is not failing because they're not talented, and they are successful on the talent and the show and the production and all of that.
Yeah.
They're just not making money. That's it. They allow too much freedom to the wrestlers in regards, I know I said freedom's good, in regards to selling merch outside of and not taking any cut. I believe they need to take 15 to 20% off the top to cover expenses. It's not much to ask.
Do they have an IPO?
No. Like, you asked this 3 times now. No.
I want people to know.
No.
Like, shareholders make money too.
Yeah. No, they don't. I don't think the Cons they're publicly traded. They own the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, they don't. I don't think they ever will. It'd kind of be weird.
I know what the Jacksonville Jaguars can't do? They can't sell their own jerseys.
So, I mean, it's empty. Yeah, exactly. It's empty. It doesn't. And that's the problem.